everybody, welcome back to Edina Vlog. I'm your host Josh Sprague with Coldwell Banker Burnett in Edina, Minnesota. Today we're here at the beautiful St. Stephen's Episcopal Church, winner of a recent Heritage Preservation Award for the city of Edina. And actually anchoring the neighborhood we're going to take a tour of today, South Harriet Park. So come along and let's enjoy the tour. Now this week we're in the South Harriet Park neighborhood, and it's fitting we should be here, seeing as last time we were just across 50th in the Country Club neighborhood. This is such a great location here. You're near 50th and France, actually within walking distance. You're just across from the Country Club neighborhood, adjacent to the Edina Country Club, and near Minnehaha Creek, which undulates its way through the neighborhood. This is a collection of about 530 homes. I would say the median price as of 2010, $675, average price about $800, but you have a price range of $400,000 to $2 million, so a pretty broad range. Mainly this is 1940s capes and two-story homes. There have been lots of infill projects, especially on the streets closest to Wooddale, so they're tearing down a $500,000 home, putting up a $1 to $2 million home. What I love most about here, besides the proximity, is the layout of the houses. Very charming. That 1940s charm really comes through, and it's a great walking neighborhood. And most importantly, the streets have either been recently reconstructed or are being reconstructed, so you have sound public infrastructure within the neighborhood. Now on to our Facebook question of the week, which was the Twin Cities market year to date is down 12.5%. Where do you think the market's going to end up year end? And most popular response was at about that 12 to 13% down level. Now, we have to count our blessings in Edina, because year to date through June, we are actually flat, about 0.1% down from last year's median price. Again, I've talked about this before. It's not only our great location, but it's the school district. And keep in mind, open enrollment is harder to get in than ever. So these regional people that would like to get into the school district can no longer just enroll. They have to actually move into the district to have access. And that is helping the demand for Edina to sustain, even through these tough recessionary times. So thanks to everybody who participates in those Facebook questions. And remember, if you want to do that, just friend me on Facebook at facebook.com/Josh1Sprague. So on to the market news, and this week I want to talk about two different things. One is the Case-Shiller Index, second one is the sales of upper bracket $1 million homes. So coming to the Case-Shiller Index, take a look here. You can see that the current index for the Twin Cities is at 105. And actually last month we were at 106, so is this a sign of stability? Well, the bears would say, you know what, right now we're back to the index level of 2,000. Prices are back 11 years for the Twin Cities 7 metro area. The bulls would say, you know what though, we're starting to see some signs of slowdown on the descent. Maybe we've reached the plateau and we can expect to go back up in the next 6 to 12 months, if even at 1% at a time. So myself, I'm always a bull, of course. I'd like to think we're slowing down, we're getting towards our double bottom, and that hopefully with the clearing out of some of these foreclosures, we will start to see stability return to the marketplace as a whole. Again, as Edina goes, we are doing very well. We've already kind of reached that bottom. We reached it in January 2011, where our prices started to stabilize while the Twin Cities in general continued to descend. The other part of the market I'd like to talk about is the upper bracket market. If you take a look here, $141 million plus homes year to date. Last year at this time we were at 131, so we're up about 8%. We have continued to roll up in the last 2 to 3 years. I am very hopeful about that segment. I think prices have probably come down to a level where they're a lot more accessible for the relocating executives and the other upper bracket home buyers. Now I'm over in the Brucewood neighborhood to interview our local business of the month, just across from South Harriet Park on Bruce Avenue. Hey Scott.
Hey Josh, how you doing?
Good to see you.
Good to see you, thanks for coming.
You bet. Now this is Scott Busyn from Great Neighborhood Homes, which is our featured business of the month for July. Scott, we just want to learn a little bit more about your business today, and tell me how you got started in the construction business.
Sure. Well, we're standing in front of one of our current projects here on Bruce Avenue, and we lived in the house next door to this home here, and we got started remodeling our own home, general contracting it by ourselves, and realized that there was a lot of opportunity to improve the process, and we enjoyed it. We ended up selling the house.
So wait, let me get this straight. You started as a do-it-yourselfer.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, as you can see, I'm still doing it.
Right on, right on.
And then, but we really focused just on the Edina area. We're a custom boutique builder that focuses on doing infill new construction to provide a turnkey solution for people to come to Edina and live in a new home.
So what neighborhoods in Edina do you focus on mainly? I know you kind of do things all over, but where are most of your homes?
Most of them are in East Edina, so we build homes in Morningside, White Oaks, South Harriet Park, Country Club, Brucewood, really those areas.
Okay.
It's really, that's where people want to be walkable. They want to be able to walk to the parks at 50th and France. So there's a real attraction this area has for building a new home.
Now I'm curious. You were doing homes that complemented the neighborhood before being forced to by any codes or any public pressure. This is something you really have passion for.
True, yeah, I really do. I mean, if you look at this house right here, I mean, when we build a home, we actually survey not only the home we're building on, but the adjacent homes. So we know what the ridge heights are, what the floor heights are. So our goal is to build a home that blends in and really enhances the character rather than detract from the character of the neighborhood. And
hence great neighborhood homes.
Great neighborhood homes, yeah. And the beauty of that as well is those are the homes that sell quicker, they resell better because they maintain their timelessness. So you live in that home for 20 years, you go to sell it still as a relevant design because this really blends in with the character of your Bruce Avenue.
Now let me switch gears for a little bit. The topic of the moment is construction management. There's a lot of new home and infill homes going in on streets where people already live, and there's noise and different things going on. And I know that builders like you are better at construction management than others. What do you think leads to a successfully managed project in terms of the neighborhood?
Well, I think, Edina, as long as I've lived for over 20 years, and every block I've lived on, there's been construction. So it's an ongoing part of Edina rebuilding their housing stock. And we read the comprehensive plan, and they talk about we got to rebalance our housing stock, continue to attract new people to Edina. So we're always going to have construction. Construction is noisy, dirty, smelly. I mean, it's hard to try. Or still, you can hear some of the saws going right now. It's still, construction is a noisy business. But what we do is we try to work within the city rules, but also take enhancements to that and take it upon ourselves to manage our site, manage our subcontractors, communicate with neighbors. So you'll see things like we've got no construction parking signs over here that we put out. We always have a sign. You walk here, you can see that. It talks about respecting the neighborhood. Talks about music, talks about stay off the neighbor's property, don't turn around in their driveways. I mean, just the things that aren't necessarily written in the city code, but we know the hot buttons.
You would want as a neighbor.
Yeah, exactly. As I tell them, if I ever see a guy throwing a cigarette butt in the grass, you want me to go to your lawn and do that? I mean, you're not. A lot of these guys they're used to working in a big open development where there aren't neighbors close by. But this is a really tight location. We want his grass to look perfect the whole time we're building here.
Right.
And then when we leave, we want it to look better than when we came. So, it's almost like if you ever go to the boundary waters, pack it in, pack it out. I mean, we have that philosophy we build. We want to leave it, the neighborhood as it was, and maybe even better than when we arrived. So,
well, I know I appreciate you setting a good model and a good standard for other builders, because not everyone lives here that comes in. I think you have even greater sensitivity because you actually are a resident.
Right. And it's part of your reputation. I mean, they look at the house you built, and they also look at the experience they had you building next to them, and that's what they tell their friends and neighbors. And we don't have a big advertising budget. It's all word of mouth. And so we're only as good as the experience that our clients and the homeowners had with us.
So, final question today: what is it that you like about doing business in Edina the most?
Well, Edina is awesome. I mean, I live in Edina. There's always a flow of new people that want to move here. It's really the premier city in the metro as far as providing schools, parks. Over 25% of Edina's parks. I mean, the retail, the walkability, city services, the tax rates are lower than average. And the nice thing about it, it's sort of locked in. It's not going to change.
Right.
So you know what to expect. And so
the bubble.
Yeah, it's a bubble. So it's easy to sell. And I like I meet a lot of really interesting people that come here from different professions. So every day is really a new experience. So I really enjoy that.
Well, I want to thank you so much for sharing a
bet.
little bit about your history,
Yeah, you
and
bet. Thanks
keep
for
up the
coming.
good work,
Yeah,
and we'll hope
appreciate
to
it.
see you again soon.
Yeah, thanks a lot.
What a great day for the show. Beautiful weather, great interviews, and beautiful neighborhood tours of East Edina. We had it all today. Before I go, I want to remind you, here's a sale just happened. West Bloomington sold in 2 weeks for full price. I would be happy to get this result for you or anyone that you might know who's selling a house in Edina or in the surrounding neighborhoods. Thanks everybody for joining me today. Hope to see you next time on Edina Vlog.